In this piano tutorial, I want to share a way that we can use the 2-5-1 progression to sort of form different passing chords to arrive at different types of chords, okay? And this lesson, we're going to do it in the key of C major. And as most of us know, we can add numbers to the notes of a scale. For example, if we're in the key of C major, let's say we start on C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to the 1. But apart from that, we can also add diatonic triads, right? So we start on C major, that would be the 1, then this is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. So when we're referring to the 2-5-1, we're basically referring to the D minor, then the G, which would be the 5, and then the 1 is C, right? And let's say we added a seventh to these chords, we would have a D minor 7, then a G7, and then a C major 7, right? That's a little bit of the basic theory behind the 2-5-1. But there's also a minor 2-5-1 that we can also use as passing chords, right? So let's say we had a C minor scale, and in this case, we're actually referring to the C minor, or the C harmonic minor scale, right? So C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B, and then C, right? So if we were to add, or if we were to do the 2-5-1 in this scale, we would play a D diminished, then a G, and then a C minor, right? And if we added the sevenths, right, it would be a D half diminished, a G7, and then a C minor 7th, okay? Now, how can we use these 2-5-1s to form passing chords? We're going to be using the song "I Surrender All" as an example, and we're going to focus on that last section of the song that goes, "All to Thee, my blessed Savior, I surrender all." Right? That section is very simple. If we're talking about these chords that I just played, right, we simply went up the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4 to the 5, right? I started on the 1, all to Thee, my. Then I played a 2, right, D minor. If I'm maintaining the melody, I would play something like this, right? Then I played a 3, right, or a 1 over 3. Then I played a 5 over 4, resolving to a 4, and then a 1 over 5. I surrender, right? 5, and then we're back to the 1. But there's a way that we can use a 2-5-1 progression to sort of change this section of the song a bit. So I'm going to play it first, and then I'll explain what I'm thinking, what's the process that I'm thinking, and how I am incorporating those 2-5-1s, or those 2-5s technically, into this progression, right? So we start off on the 1. Right, as you can hear, I still maintain the melody, but I used a bunch of different chords within the same progression. So what did I do? I started off on the 1 chord, which is a C, and then instead of going to the 2, which I played in the previous version, right, I went to the minor 5. Now, what I'm thinking about here, right, I played a 1, the minor 5 to a C7, right? Minor 5 to C7. Now, what is this technically? What I'm thinking about is in terms of F, right? So this is technically a 2-5 progression that leads me to an F, right? Let's see how it would turn out if I actually played the F, right? 2, 5, 1, right? But instead of actually landing on the F, I actually go to another 2-5 progression. And in this case, it's going to be a minor 2-5 progression, right? So I played I went to an F sharp half diminished. And this chord right here is actually going to be the minor 2 of E, right? And we're actually going to play that minor 2 to the 5, right? So F sharp is the minor 2, then the 5 would be B7. In this case, I'm just incorporating extra extensions, right? Like the flat 9 or different alterations just to accommodate to the melody of the song. But the importance is the actual root of the note that I'm playing, right? Of the chord that I'm playing. So I played 2, 5, minor 2, then a 5. Then the next chord is going to be an E, right? That would be the where it would technically land, right? I surrender all from there. But instead of playing an E minor, I'm actually going to think in terms of D, right? And I'm going to play an E half diminished, right? So this is going to be my next 2-5 progression. So it's going to be a minor 2, an E half diminished. That's my minor 2. Then this A7 is going to be my 5, right? So it would be like a minor 2, 5, and that's going to technically be my next 1. But again, we're still doing those 2-5 progressions. So this D now becomes my 2. And in this case, we can actually play it either as a minor chord or as a major chord, right? We can either keep it minor, just to do a regular 2-5-1, like I sir, right? 2, 5, 1. But we can also make it major just to switch it up a bit, or to think about it as a secondary dominant. So I surrender or surrender, right? 2, 5, 1, right? So all together, if we do it again, all 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, and then we're back to the 1. Right, so we're sort of borrowing all those 2-5s from different chords, right? So that's the usefulness of this progression, that 2-5-1 progression. It can basically lead us to any chord that we want to get to, right? So let's try to figure it out in another key, just for the fun of it. Let's say we were in F. We would play something like this, right? Right, we're doing that 2-5 to get us to the 4, but instead of landing on the 4, we're actually going to land on the B to get us to the E, and then we're going to land on A, then a D, then a G, which is another 2, then C, which is my 5, and then we're back to the F major, right? And a small secret, right, behind these 2-5-1s, like if we pay attention to that pattern that we're doing specifically in this song, right? Let's go back to C major. We're technically going around that circle of fourths, right? We went from G to C. Then instead of going to F, right, we went to the F sharp, then to B, right? And from here, we're just going around that circle, right? We're going F sharp, B, then E, A, D, and then G, and then C. Right, so hopefully you're able to get something out of this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or any tutorial requests, right? And hopefully I get to see you again in the next video.